Back to the Jesse Rucinski show. Appreciate checking me out. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you had a good Easter. Hopefully you got to be gluttonous and eat all the food and have as good of a time as you wanted to. I really do. Hope that you got to enjoy it, especially if you're in places where they made it really, really hard for anyone to be able to enjoy anything for a while there. I know a lot of people didn't care, but there are some people that are very strict with this. So I just hope everyone actually, got together. I still know people that asked, family members to go, they weren't allowed to come over if they weren't masked and vaxxed, which is just amazing and all of it. But today we're going to hit, two topics, obviously. Gas prices, which have been going up for forever, no matter who they want to blame it on. It's been happening for a very long time. The blame game is for real. And saying that they're going to solve part of the problem with the, federal, strategic reserve for oil and getting rid of the summer ethanol ban, waiving it, isn't really going to do anything. I got numbers on that. And this whole Title 42 thing, when everyone's just making us out to be racist, crazy, misogynistic, everything, as we think it should still be there, especially with the way they treated a lot of our own citizens who weren't vaxxed and all kinds of other things before they were allowed to do anything. I find it to be mesmerizing that we're even in a position, but thankfully some Democrats have even jumped up and said it needs to stay in place, which is a very good thing. I mean, it should, no matter who, like what you feel, like look at the actual, like just use your brain a little bit and it all makes sense. But got some good numbers, about it all. First, we're going to hit, obviously, the gas prices and ethanol and all that. Gas prices, from last year as compared to, at this point, average this year, this is coming from the energy department. Regular last year, that 287 by their math, average, and 2022 so far it's at 410, mid-grade 321 up to 450, premium 348 up to 478, diesel 308 to 504, and then E85 243 up to 356. And now the numbers from AAA, 2019 average was 269, 2020 average 224, 2021 average 328, and then 2022 they agree at 410. Against a bunch of different numbers depending on how they all do it, what they're adding together to do it. Like, there's all kinds of different idiocy in there. But 410, they agree on that. So that's way up, and it was way up. You just look, at the numbers before anything, stupid up 224, like they all seem to agree with that. And 269 the year before, and then suddenly it was up over $1 from 2020 to 2021. And yet they're blaming everyone else under the sun, from Putin to us, Trump, like everything. And nothing they do, like, really is anything to actually help when we all know what they need to do to help. But they prefer releasing, 1 million barrels a day from the strategic reserve, which, great, we're going to empty our reserve because you have bad policy. That's smart. Nothing they do is smart, though, at all. And they say they're going to lift the summer ethanol ban and it will help people save up to 10 cents a gallon at 2,300 gas stations across the country. Here's the problem with that. I mean, granted, 10 cents a gallon will make people a lot of money that have the capabilities to do that. I'm not saying anything. That's 2% of the gas stations in the country. So you're going to help people that can get to those, that 2% of the gas stations. That's a small fraction. It will do nothing to actually help 98% of the country. 97 if we keep the 1% out of it, of gas stations. Like 98% of gas stations aren't going to have the capability to do that because they cannot properly store E85 to sell it. So who are you actually helping? Like, at this point, all the people in the mainstream media and people that I know on the left are all talking about how he's doing such a good job and he's helping people. Who the hell is he helping? 1 million barrels a day, like, not helping. Blaming everything on everyone else around the world when it's their own policy that's doing it isn't helping anything. Helping people save up to 10 cents, which means it's places where it could only save you a cent, if anything, at only 2% of the gas stations across the country, because no one can store ethanol, E85 ethanol, like no one can store 2%. Might as well be no one. Like, it doesn't help a single human being, be it, there they are saying it, and there's everyone, ponying up and parroting each other, saying how good of a job he's doing. Sorry, he's not. It makes no sense, and you're stupid. You sound very stupid. Doesn't help a thing. And if people just use their brains, they would realize that. And no matter what any of you people keep yelling at me and telling me, I don't care how many permits, land leases they have approved. How many drilling permits are approved on them? It's funny that no one ever mentions that in any of their numbers that they give. They all love to say how many land, leases are out there. Why can't they, why don't they ever mention how many drilling permits are actually approved on those lands to drill for, oil and natural gas here? I'm just curious. You've been hearing the numbers for months now, but yet they didn't mention ever. The number of people that are actually allowed to drill. It's just a fun little tidbit that, stands out to me is how people just keep parroting everything he says. Like, this is good and this is going to help. It's Putin's fault and Trump's fault and this fault and that fault. Like, it's your economic policy. It's all the stuff you put in on day one. That's why we have to transport everything now. Inflation, we just keep hemorrhaging money. Things going towards that, but I'll get into that later on, the next topic. This one gets two, but really this is all just idiocy. And anyone that thinks he's doing anything to help anybody when he's helping 2% of gas stations, which means 98% aren't getting helped at all, is dumb. Like, you're actually stupid if you fall in line and believe any. I'm sorry. There's just no other way to put it. It does nothing. Just like depleting our, oil reserve. As your policies suck. And the amount of oil we were getting from Russia, how we cut off, wouldn't have made that big of a difference. Physically impossible. So, you can just let them keep doing it. But if you actually look up the numbers, it proves that they're just as high as I think they are. And they're just completely gone because none of it adds up. And none of it could ever add up, but people keep parroting it. Just like when it comes to Title 42 and getting rid of it. Regardless, that March, we finally got the numbers, which, we talked about on Wednesdays with Walter. Finally have March's 221,303, putting his total apprehensions up to 2,795,640 and getting worse. That's for President Biden in 15 months? 16 months, whatever. It hasn't been a year and a half. We're going to be at well over 3 million by the time we hit a year and a half. And they keep saying that we're worried about the border and Title 42 because, we're racist, misogynistic, ignorant, white supremacist, everything, this, that, and the other thing. And everyone keeps, believing that too. Like, I've had people I was friends with for forever that know me saying that I'm automatically a racist and I think that way just because I'm on the right. So it automatically has to be that. There's no other reason. Because they hear it from the media and the politicians on the left. And granted, these are the same people that have been saying all kinds of things during the pandemic that we shouldn't be able to, there's going to be no, vaccine mandate. Well, look at all the people that got vax mandated for work, and people saying that they shouldn't be able to travel. Thank you, Geraldo, heard it on, said it forever, shouldn't be able to go outside, go to a restaurant, go to the store, go on an airplane, go on anything without a mask, go to a doctor's office. Like, there are people that are getting yelled at for being outside that have a mask on. There are people that were getting arrested for playing at parks outside with no one else there because they're outside their house in some states. And people were all for it. You shouldn't be able to see your family. You shouldn't be able to see friends, go to church. There's vaccine, mandates for children in school in some states. And that's completely normal, according to them. They've been saying we've been killing people since the beginning of it if we're not, if you're not wearing a mask or vaccinated or any of that. Like, they've been saying it. We've all heard it. You've heard it. The people that, on the other side, if they listen to this, you've all heard it. Everyone's been saying it. We've been getting threatened by the president, everything else. Yet those same people that have been saying that are now calling us racist think it's okay for this many people just have free reign to come over the border, which, by the way, is illegal in and of itself. That's why they're criminal aliens. Anyway, they have no vaccine and not mandated to be vaccinated before they get on a plane, train, bus, however the hell else they travel to go wherever they want to in the country with a ticket paid for by the government, the taxpayer dollars. Like, that's completely okay. But it's not okay for citizens to go and see their own families or go to the park, or little school children to go to school if they aren't vaccinated. But illegals can come from third world dumps and be able to go wherever they want without being, vaccinated or anything. And that's okay. We're racist for thinking we should, if you're holding citizens to that standard, we should hold people that come from third world countries that aren't really known for being the cleanest, having the best infrastructure. Like they should be able to go do whatever they want. Well, the citizens, some kids aren't allowed to go to school because they're not vaccinated. Like, if you actually think any of that makes sense, there's actually nothing in between your ears. We would shine a light and it would come out the other side. Scientifically, I know not possible, but really big gun, but it doesn't work. But they think it's okay after saying all those things about us, then and we should have this kind of standard. Everyone should do it, but people that come from other countries that are dirtier and way less hygienic and everything else shouldn't have to be vaxxed in order to go places. Like they should just go wherever they want regardless. Like that's actually beyond hypocritical. That's just dumb. Like that's actually physically stupid. Real kind of stupid. Not actually dumb. You're stupid. You have no intellect. You can't cognitively think. You can't critically think. And that's a problem. Like there is a system that has been going on for way longer than any one of us on this have had. And I've had family members that have probably done it to come here from other countries. Last time I checked, you're supposed to go to the first neighboring country of your country, go to the embassy and apply for asylum. And then wait for it to happen. Not just come crashing over our border, get a ticket to go wherever the hell you want, a smartphone, so we can track you, all that. The country's done. Ship you wherever you want. So far, they said like over 3/4 of them they haven't heard from again. Shocker. They came here illegally. Obviously, they don't care about rule of law or the laws at all, which is why you should actually hold them accountable and make them do it and remain in Mexico. And Mexico should be stopping people from even getting in there. Then the problem would go away completely. Absolutely go away. Do it right. And nothing to do with being racist. It has to do with there are laws on the book. There is a way to do it. There is a whole procedural thing that you have to do, and you should do it right because everyone else did for forever. And these people just get to come right over, and there's people that are in other countries all over the place that are actually doing it properly and waiting for that years on end to get here to prove that they should be here and all that stuff. And they get just waiting forever while they're watching these people just come in. Why you think you're catching people from all over the world coming across the border? That makes no sense. Like it doesn't. Why are they there? Why? Because they know they can get across there. So maybe I'm just tired of everyone saying it's racist that we feel the way. Like it has nothing to do with being racist. Like there are actual laws. There's ways of doing things that are proper, and breaking the law and getting treated better than actual citizens. That's actually wrong. If you don't think that's wrong, I'm not even sorry for you. Like, I'm sorry, there's laws. And if we have to follow the laws, why don't they have to follow the laws? If we all, for a while, like everyone, wear a mask, be vaccinated, do this, or you can't do this, do that, or you can't do this. Yeah, hey, come right in illegally. We'll give you a cell phone, a bus, plane, or train ticket, send you wherever you want. Then we never hear from you again. Oh, well. There's so many that they can keep track of it. Like, it really, is all it is. And people listen again. It's the mainstream media, politicians, giving their opinions. It's not facts. Like the numbers are the numbers. Those are the facts. Through March, in his first 2.795 million apprehensions. That doesn't include the getaways and everyone else that they don't even know is there. Like that's just apprehensions. Like that's very, very bad, which means there's at least 4 or 5 million people that are getting in because they can only keep track of so many people because they only have so many people. And all the people that say it's because we're a compassionate nation and I'm not compassionate, I'm sorry, I think they should go to the neighboring country and apply the right way. So all the paperwork is in order before, they get here. So they have a date. So they could do all of that, be approved. Instead of going through all those countries on foot, be exposed to all the things the cartels do between, human trafficking, prostitution, rape, like everything else that they do to where they own you. Hey, we'll pay you to get them over here, but then you owe us for the rest of eternity. Like all of that. And saying, well, we should let them in do that. No, they should actually stay and do it the way they're supposed to, because how hard is it to just catch all kinds of people with the numbers going through Mexico right now for the cartels? Like they're making money hand over fist, and these people are going through all kinds of atrocities because you people on the left actually think you're being compassionate when you're the ones with all your stupid ass policies putting these people in the situations that they're in the first place. That's on y'all. That ain't on us. I say go to the first neighboring country and do it. Then a lot of things can be figured out. You can work, earn a living. So you can maybe, I don't know, afford to fly in here all on your own or bus or something. So you're not just, traveling on foot through, garbage areas. Like do it right. And there won't be hundreds of thousands of people going through for the cartels to just snatch you up and, saying that this stuff needs to continue. We need to get rid of it. And unless they just pour in here, they're getting snatched up. We all know they're getting snatched up. Everyone knows it. They stayed down in those garbage countries before Mexico, just moved on to the next one, figured it out. They wouldn't be exposed to all these bad things continuously happening. Like, and that's also just common sense. Like, if there's anything like works in between your ears, if there's anything that fires properly in between your ears, you wouldn't have that problem. And you just can't have it both ways is really the big one. If we have to be, small kids that are that young as they are, have to be vaccinated to go to schools in some states and do all of that, even though if you look at the numbers, like I have the numbers down there, I went over them. Like barely any kids that they're now trying to, mandate to be vaccinated, or they can't like go to school and make it available, they don't need it, but they need to be vaccinated to go and do that as children. But people coming across the board don't need to be vaccinated. And then we give them a cell phone and buy them tickets to go wherever the hell they want and hope that they go to their, local, immigration office to say, hi, I'm here. So they can set up a court date and all that. Like, can't have it both ways. Sorry. If we're getting treated that way, these people coming from much, much dirtier, scarier situations, they should be treated just the same as, sorry, you're getting vaccinated, deuces. Like, they should have to wait just like everyone else. They shouldn't get special treatment, get to travel and have everything done for them when our own citizens that pay the taxes that the government blows through before, we're already in a deficit before we even get, like, when it's our tax dollars, those things are gone way before we even get to spend any. But yeah. And really, I mean, another big one is look what happens like when people accidentally cross into the Mexican border and go in there. They don't even know they do it and they get like arrested. We've seen people spend months, all kinds of stuff in there for accidentally crossing over, not even knowing that they were doing it, not just breaking, like they don't get cell phones, smartphones, food, hotel rooms, airplane tickets. Like they get sent to jail, thrown back over the border. Like they get all kinds of things, even if it's just an accident. They don't get all kinds of nice things. And the number's going to keep getting worse. We already don't have money, but they keep putting tens of billions into this. It's just going to keep making inflation even worse because we don't have the money and people are too stupid to put two and two together. Like, believe it or not, sometimes when you look, 2 and 2 actually does just simply make 4. There's no other crazy thought in any of it. Like, that's really what it is. And it's just mesmerizing that they keep saying that I'm just being racist for, like, no, this is what causes things like inflation and crime and all kinds of bad things, and jobs getting, worse because there's more of them that'll work for less because they're illegals. People are like, they can't do that. Lots of restaurants, lots of all over the place, people do stuff like that. Construction, all kinds of, like it's a real thing. And, especially the inflation part. There's not much money we're spending on illegals, just housing them and sending them wherever. Like, that's tens of billions is not helping the inflation problem, which I will get farther into tomorrow. And it puts them so much worse of a situation if you actually stop and use the brain. So your compassion is putting them into situations that they'll never be able to bounce back from, which is just amazing. I mean, it really is. All of it's amazing. When you think about it, another empty hole of a promise to help people with gas prices and the ethanol thing. You're only helping 2% of gas stations. So that's all the cable, like it's not going to do anything for pretty much anyone. How we treat these guys compared to our own. I mean, all the numbers prove everything we're saying as to why Title 42 should stick around, just because of the way they're treating us, let alone the numbers. Like, we're still, like, you're going around saying people still need to be, vaccinated, and we're putting mask mandates back in order and stuff. Like, how come then we should drop this so even more people could just come in when they don't have to be vaccinated or anything? They get sent wherever they want to travel without a vaccine. It's just ridiculous. And, it's all common sense. It's all right there. I don't know what more you need to see, but it's not that hard. I don't think it's that hard. You people probably don't think it's that hard, but it's all right there slapping you in the face. You just have to spend 30 seconds to go, huh, it makes sense now. Well, you damn skippy. It makes lots of sense. It's scary that we have to be to this point and go, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But, well, that's where we are. Not my fault. Not my fault at all. It's just kind of sad that it's come to this, though, when you think about it. Like, because it's all right there staring them in the face, and they still listen to anything that, like the, what, 6, 7, 8 million networks that literally just say the same thing over and over again. Like they all parrot the same exact thing, and yet you don't think to stop and maybe use your brain. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't. When you look at actual numbers, it's compassionate. Well, how about you show compassion for our own people? Just saying. But, again, we'll see. They're going to keep proving me right. It's what they do. They can't help themselves. It's all they know how to do, because they're just, doing everything they can to make every problem 1,000 times worse. And because they know that, half the country will still blame everyone on the right and Putin and everyone else for everything that's going on, even though it's all on their hands. Because sadly, people are just that ignorant. And might I say, as I say, ignorance is bliss. Why are they all such angry little fellows? If ignorance is bliss and these people are ignorant to a lot of things, why are they all so miserable all the time? Right? At least the ones I deal with, they are all some of the angriest human beings on the planet. They all have this attitude about them, this smugness, this anger. Like you're supposed to be the blissful ones. For the love of God, we're more blissful. I'm more blissful, and that's one word no one will ever call me. At least most people, very few people get to see the blissful side of me. Man, wake up. It's not that hard. But anyway, before I keep going on that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, if you're on Good Pods, follow along on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whichever your preferred is there. And, give it a listen there if you could, because then again, I could keep track of your listens. I can keep track of how much the show is actually growing, because it'll hit all of my analytics right there, which is really, I just want to see the actual numbers comparatively. It just makes it easier. But videos are on YouTube and Rumble. Subscribe to those pages. Everyone else, just share it out. They're all on the Facebook page. Follow the Facebook page. Under the same name as the show, but share it all out. Keep getting more. Tell people about it. Like free word of mouth out, is the best way to help it grow and to get back at them, because who wants to see me dump money into advertising agencies that are all on the left and Facebook and all of them, just to get more stuff out there, just for them to keep me algorithm blocked like I am. Because every time I start getting momentum, I go from a bunch like down to all of a sudden literally like 4 or 5 listens over like a week span. So it's because people, I didn't know you were putting any out there. Like, yeah, because every time I get momentum, they screw it. So please, follow along on the other platforms, but follow along on the Facebook page and share it out, because they can't get us all. I'll be back tomorrow with Walter for the second episode of Wednesdays with Walter, and this time it's actually going to be on a Wednesday, which is kind of exciting. It's a good change of pace. We're on the proper day this week, unless something stupid happens, and please God, I can't. There's nothing stupid. I'm having a good couple of days. Let's not go and ruin it. But thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. Be good to each other. Don't forget Wednesdays with Walter again. Got some good stuff, topics that we said we were going to cover last week, and there's some really good stuff that we didn't get into that he wanted to, but I like to, well, we don't have the time to hit that. I know how long we're going to talk just talking about these things. So good one tomorrow. Make sure you're looking forward to that one. It should drop earlier than this, unless we talk for 900 years, but who knows. And I'll be back tomorrow. So until then, be good to each other. Don't forget, please follow along on all the platforms and share this stuff out, and listen on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, one of them, just so I can keep track of it all, and it helps out with the sponsor and all that. And, again, just tracking it, and, each episode where it actually is helps out so much. But till tomorrow, my friends, be good to each other. Thanks for listening, watching, and peace.